It's like entrepreneurship is like driving your car through the snow. Like you just have to stay calm and hold steady, and you're gonna make it. You're gonna get up this hill that's not been plowed, and you might slip a little bit. But as long as you stay steady, you don't like accelerate too fast, you don't like back off and quit. You keep going, you're gonna get somewhere. It has to happen. Like there has to be some sort of success.
Welcome to Begin, Build, Blossom Your Business Journey, the podcast where we share valuable insights, resources, and motivation to fuel your entrepreneurial spirit. Let's build a supportive community together. Don't forget to subscribe or follow wherever you listen to podcasts and be part of this journey. Let's pause for a moment to hear from our sponsors. You've built a name for yourself through hard work and dedication, but does managing the business side feel like a distraction from your true passion? Are you dealing with unmanaged finances? CME Accounting LLC is here to help. We specialize in organizing your financial records, allowing you to focus on what you do best. With organized books, you'll have more time for what inspires you. Whether that's expanding your influence, building relationships, or simply enjoying life. Don't let unmanaged finances hold you back. Reach out to CME Accounting LLC today and let us help you thrive. Visit our website www.cmeaccountingllc.com or email us at admin@cmeaccountingllc.com. All right, let's jump back into our conversation. Good day and welcome to another episode of our podcast, Begin, Build, Blossom Your Business Journey. Today's guest is Beth Brown, a best-selling author, breakthrough coach, international speaker, and professional photographer. She is also a Women Empowerment Award recipient. As a speaker and workshop facilitator, Beth works with women and men to help them move away from poor, disillusioned belief systems and begin shining their brightest light. Her work is rooted in helping people reconnect with who they truly are beyond the stories they've been carrying. Beth openly shares her experiences with healing after sexual assault and heartbreak to inspire others on their own healing and self discovery journeys. She also speaks openly about what it takes to sever connections with pain, unforgiveness, and fear, and how doing so allows clients and audiences to redefine themselves as lovable, worthy, and powerful. Beth's faith driven approach is what makes her work deeply transformational. Beth, we are happy to have you with us on the podcast.
Thank you, Clarita. I am happy to be here. Hi, everyone.
Yes, I have actually worked with Beth. I use Beth for my photo shoot. I remember going to some people within my network saying, I need some professional photos because I had started the podcast, I was doing more social media stuff, and I did not have the photos. So I decided to reach out to you based on a recommendation, and I am very, very happy. And those photos have been used quite a few times.
Oh, good. I love hearing that. I am so happy. And you know what? We did your photo shoot in November, and I think it was actually the last nice day, like to be outside before the weather went cold to do any work. So yeah, you
Ah.
squeaked right in, as I remember. Yes,
Yes,
you were
I
so
had,
fun to work with.
thank you. And I had my daughter with me, I had my mom. So we made the best out of that photo shoot.
Yes, we had a whole time together. It was a good time. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. So I really look forward to getting to know more about you and your business. And we are going to start with a segment we call Rapid Fire. We try to get quick responses here to learn a little bit more about you. So we're going to start by asking for two words. One word that describes you now, and one word you would have used to describe yourself as a child.
Okay. Well, I would say now today I have a lot of joy. So joyful. And as a child, I felt trapped. So maybe trapped would be a good
Wow. Would you? I know we said quick, but after such a response, I feel like what is the transition that you see there? Trapped to now joyful.
Yeah. Well, my mom said that as a baby, I was actually really joyful. So I think as an adult, having gone through my own transitions and healing journey processes, I think that has come back. I'm an only child and I was very lonely. And I also wasn't really able to play with any of the children in my neighborhood. And I just wanted to get out. Like, I wanted to be around people. And I felt like I couldn't get the things that I wanted. Yeah. And I felt trapped. It was a small town. There was like a highway, Interstate 88, that was behind my parents' house, and I could see the cars. And all I wanted to do as a kid was drive. Like, I was like, I'm going to, when I grow up, drive. And I just drive all over the freaking place. And I have. Yeah,
Oh, you have. Well, okay. I'm
I
happy to
have.
hear that
Yeah.
you have. All right. Thanks so much for sharing that with us. And talking about when you were a child, is there a particular favorite memory that you remember from that time?
Yeah. So my dad would take my mom and I on a vacation every year. And those were some of my favorite childhood memories because I wasn't trapped. I was out and about. I like to see things. I like to explore things and have new experiences. One summer, we drove 3 weeks across the north part of the United States all the way to Seattle and back. And I slept most of the time in the back seat because I was really little. But I just really enjoyed those vacations because I was seeing stuff.
I could certainly see how you could feel very free on such a road trip from wow to Seattle. And I really love Seattle. So happy to hear you got to drive
Yeah,
over
it's such a
there.
cool city. Well, my dad drove it. I didn't. I
Well,
was like between fourth and fifth grade. Can you imagine?
oh, well, that is true. Yes.
10-year-old
Oh.
Beth driving.
Is it something you probably thought of doing now that you're older?
Well, I've driven a lot, but I haven't driven west. I've driven mostly south. Like, I've driven all the way to Miami and back. I've done a ton of driving as an
Oh,
adult.
wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. And is there maybe one book or movie that you'd recommend?
So I found very pivotal in my own life as an adult for healing the book Battlefield of the Mind by Joyce Myers.
Okay. All right. I have not heard of that one. So I love when that happens so I can look it up. Thanks for sharing that with us. Okay. And just to transition into business a little bit, what is one of the highest moments, the highest highs that you've had in business so far?
I like traveling. So I have had several shoots, there's several different occasions, more than one, 6 or 7, where I've been able to travel and shoot. Those have always been fun. But really, I just like doing what I do. So every shoot is more or less a highlight. It's very rare for me to have a photo shoot, and be miserable. I'm trying to think of a time I was miserable on a photo shoot. I just like what I do. It's exciting that I get to do what I love doing.
That's great. And if we look at maybe the opposite of that, is there something that you probably have not enjoyed about business? So I know you said there hasn't been a shoot that you haven't enjoyed, but in terms of business in general, like you're an international speaker, you're a coach, you're a photographer. I know that's a lot. So I'm just curious if there's something you probably wish could be better about being in business.
Like you said, I'm a coach. And one of the things that I do as a breakthrough coach is I teach my clients to look for patterns within themselves, within their families, within their relationships with the people that they're considering dating or getting married to, breaking up with, I guess, could also be the case. Looking for patterns. And those patterns tell a story, and patterns don't lie because there's something that repeats over and over again. So you can't be just like, well, that's just my imagination. No, it's something that keeps happening. Well, what I have come to see in the past few weeks, and I think is an issue why. So one of the frustrations in my business is it needs to be more consistent. I have multiple streams of income, but it's not always consistently flowing, which is a problem. But what I am realizing is I think the pattern that's creating this issue is not having people aware of everything that I do. So I just had a meeting with the person earlier this week, and it was for an hour of forgiveness coaching. And this person said to me, hey, I'm really excited to be here with you. But, I was talking to a friend on the way here, and I told my friend, I have no idea what this woman does. I had met this person in person. And in person, I think I sell very well. I think I persuade people very well to work with me as a photographer or as a coach or bring me on board to their organization or church. But social media wise, I don't think I'm being very clear. And I think people don't see what I think a lot of people don't know what I do. And I think if I see that pattern multiple times coming up, and I've seen it other times, I had someone reach out to me and say, "Oh, hey, do you travel?" And I was like, "Yeah, I travel for my clients." And then I realized it had been over a year since I'd posted anything on my Instagram page about me traveling for clients to do photo
Ah.
shoots. And so I said, "Oh, this is just one more instance of this pattern repeating." I have a new referral program for clients. Not really for clients, but anyone who refers me to someone for coaching and that person books 3 months of coaching with me, they will get 10% of the profits from that coaching. So like I'm happy to pay people for their referrals. I had a whole bunch of people say, "Congratulations on this new thing." I was like, "No, but I've been a coach for 4 years." So I'm seeing patterns that I don't like that I am going to be working on breaking. That was not a rapid fire answer.
No, that's
Oops.
okay. That's okay. There's always an opportunity to learn there. And I definitely see what you're saying. So let us see. Now is an opportunity to tell us all the great things that you do. I know you have different streams of income. So you can tell us about all of them or choose which ones you want to tell us about.
Yes. Oh, okay. Thank you for that opportunity, Clarita. So the short is that I help people to level up their lives. So as a photographer, I help people to level up visually. A lot of that is through branding shoots, but it could also be with self-confidence. I also do boudoir sessions. I don't have any clients who've approved me to share their boudoir portraiture. So I don't really have a portfolio for that, but I do that. I help people level up their confidence in themselves or the look and feel of their brand, because most of my clients are business owners, or just document an event. And then I also help people to level up their lives emotionally and spiritually and physically through the coaching, through breakthrough coaching. And that is a lot of the focus through that is helping people to forgive themselves or forgive others. It could be a traumatic event like a sexual assault or a divorce. It could also be you're just pissed off because someone stole money from you, which comes up also quite often with people. So I help people level up their lives, like you shared earlier, by just stop being able to release those burdens they've been carrying so that they're lighter, emotionally and spiritually.
We read in your intro that you did experience sexual assault. And I could see that you on your own journey and now you're assisting others to go through that healing journey. So if you want to tell us a little bit more about what brought you to this work and what made you change such a traumatic experience to now be able to help people.
Do we have any other choice? Like, I mean, we do have choices. No one has to do anything, right? Clarita, you and I didn't have to get out of bed this morning. We don't have to have
Hmm.
this conversation. You didn't have to start a podcast. You don't have to be a business owner yourself. You could choose to not be a mom and just be chilling all day, every day. So we all have a choice. But I think if we know something, we're going to keep it to ourselves, or are we going to use it to support other people who don't know how to get unstuck or who don't know how to get relief from the burdens they're carrying? So if I see someone and other people, and I mean, you don't really have to look very far to see that mental illness, because you live in New York, you don't have to look very far to see that mental illness is a struggle and mental health is a struggle for a lot of people. And obviously, I do not have all the answers. I'm a coach. I don't have all the answers. I don't have all the solutions, but I do have enough knowledge, and I can take my experience and my research and use that to help people to write new life success stories, to love themselves again, to feel worthy, to realize life is not over. At one point, I thought I didn't have a future. I thought I really wished I could have separated myself from parts of my body. I really had a hard time with that. And photography is one of the tools that I used, self portraiture specifically, is one of the tools I used myself to reconnect with my body. So, yeah, I think when we heal, for healing, there's like different levels because we're complex beings. You're physical, emotional, spiritual. And so we kind of have to take care of our physical, emotional, spiritual side, like the mindset, heart set, and then just even changing things like dance is a really movement. Anything movement is really great for releasing trauma and pain out of our bodies. So yeah, I take very maybe different approach to things with people, and I ground everything I do, at least as a coach, through the Bible. Unless I mean, it depends. When I go into a school, because I go into schools too, not so much. But in my own coaching practice, it's all rooted in the Bible. So there's something that's stable and like a measuring ground. And then just even in my photography business, like I know it can be hard to be on the other side of the camera, right? And how to connect with your body. A lot of people don't like how they look in photos, or they don't like a certain like maybe they kind of like how they look in photos, but they don't like a certain feature or aspect of their bodies. And so even as a photographer, I've been able to help people, even just like with a regular photo shoot, even something like even simple as headshots. I had a client tell me once, oh, I didn't like selfies before. Now I'm a selfie king, because he got used to accepting himself. And photography, even though those photos were for him as an actor, for his acting career to get him bookings, it also shifted how he felt about himself as a man. Even the photography can be super powerful.
Yes, and I can attest to that, I'll tell you. By the time I reached out to you, I was going through a lot in my life. My body had changed quite a bit from having a baby. I was just not in a good place. So I was not trying to take photos at all, but I needed to do it. And I'm really happy that you're the one that that was recommended to me, because I found that the photo shoot itself was not as intimidating as I probably would have anticipated, because I could see that the coaching you came out. I Even before the photo shoot, you had a list of people that you were able to send to me, because I said, I don't do makeup. I don't do much with my face. I don't even know what to wear. I told you about all these insecurities, and I can say that because, it's the truth. That's how I felt. I've come a long way since. I'm getting to my old self again. But that was where I was when I came to you. So I would say that the experience for me was great. I was able to watch those photos and see the powerful woman in there. So thanks for that.
Yes, yes, you did. You rocked it. And yeah, you are not unique in that sense. Where do I go for my makeup? Where do I go and how do I dress? And it can be confusing because sometimes we try to dress, just even to use that, like the way we think businesswomen are supposed to look, or businessmen, right? Like we think we're supposed to look a certain way. And what's trending is not necessarily who we are. So it could be like out of alignment with who we are, what we're comfortable in, as well as color, like having a good color for us. So like I know I referred you to Celeste. I believe you spoke with a woman named Celeste who does a lot of color analysis and helps people even just like pick the right best colors for them. So there's like so much that goes into it. But yeah, I like to make things easier for my clients. So there's a guide. So you can have people to reach out.
Yes, and I really appreciate that. The conversations we had leading up to it, even after. So yes, I really hope that people who are thinking of, doing it, getting a photo shoot, that they reach out to you and get it done. And I plan on reaching out again because I've grown a lot since. I've learned a lot. The people you connected me with taught me a lot. I'm still work in progress, but there's been a
We're
lot of
all works
growth.
in
So I do,
progress.
I do hope to come back again. And maybe for me, I might make it something that my daughter and I do often. So thanks for that.
Yes, I would love to see her again. She's so cute, but I'm sure she's gotten like really tall since we last. It's been like what? It's been over a year. November 2024, I think, is when we worked together.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, definitely. So, and she loves the camera, so she'll be happy to see you again. All right. So, in terms of when you started the businesses, can you maybe think of the first time you thought of becoming a business owner? What was it that triggered that for you, and what were the steps you took once you decided that's what you were going to do?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't actually trying to be a business owner. So my first business is the photography business, and that has been established much longer than the coaching business. So that's been over 10 years. I don't know if I'm on year 13, 14, 15, something, but I just needed extra money. Before I lived in Brooklyn, which is where I lived for 17 years, I was in Rochester. And when I was in Rochester, I assisted a wedding photographer. And towards the end of my time assisting him, he was trying to send me off to do weddings for him. And I was like, no, Mike, I don't want to do that. I don't feel comfortable doing that. What if I screw up their photos of their wedding day? And he's like, no, you've got this. And he's like, it's just a firehouse wedding. It's like slang term for it. It's like, it's not a big deal. You are more than able to do this. And I was like, no. And I refused to do it. I didn't want the responsibility of messing up someone's shoot. And then I moved to New York and I wasn't making enough money because Bloomberg was in office as a mayor and he did not like teachers and he did not think we should be rewarded because I was a full-time teacher before I was a full-time entrepreneur. And I just said, oh, what am I going to do to get some extra cash? I was like, I guess I could start doing shoots. Now, I really don't do weddings and I really don't enjoy shooting weddings. So it's not something that I am really available to be booked for. I sometimes book them on a case by case basis, but it's rare for me to do them. But yeah, I remember my first shoot. I called him up and I was like, okay, Mike, what do I do? I'm scared. What if I screw this up? No problem. You've got this. And that guy, he booked a lot of work. And I look back on it and it was acting headshots. And I look back on it and I was like, they're not that great. But he booked a lot of work. He told me, like, I don't look at his accounting receipts, but he told me he booked a lot of work with those photos from that shoot. So
Let's pause for a moment to hear from our sponsors. You've built a name for yourself through hard work and dedication, but does managing the business side feel like a distraction from your true passion? Are you dealing with unmanaged finances? CME Accounting LLC is here to help. We specialize in organizing your financial records, allowing you to focus on what you do best. With organized books, you'll have more time for what inspires you. Whether that's expanding your influence, building relationships, or simply enjoying life. Don't let unmanaged finances hold you back. Reach out to CME Accounting LLC today and let us help you thrive. Visit our website www.cmeaccountingllc.com or email us at admin@cmeaccountingllc.com. All right, let's jump back into our conversation. And I think from his perspective and also your perspective, just doing it now, he's probably gotten better. You've gotten better. But the fact is, you both did what you did at the time, and that helped your business. And the reason I say that is I've spoken to other entrepreneurs and even myself where we're scared to start something. We're scared to do it because it's like, I don't know if I can do this well. But the fact that we do it and we get better over time, and I really love that he was able to book jobs off of that, and then he's continued to do that, and he's continued to work with you, it sounds like.
over the years on different projects, yeah. I haven't worked with him in a long time. I haven't seen him in a long time, but yeah,
Okay, after that experience, how do you think that helped you with, let's say, your second client?
I think well, it was still a while before I stopped feeling nervous. It's not like I don't ever feel a little bit nervous. Sometimes I still feel a little bit nervous, but not the same way.
Mm-hmm.
I think actually I called Mike a couple other times before I had shoots to he calms down. But I haven't called Mike in a long time. I don't know if he's still in business even because he was an older gentleman. I should just check in on him actually.
He sounds like a nice guy, and it's good when we have somebody who's done it before willing to help us, you know? So that's great.
It's good to have a mentor.
Yes, definitely. And the name of your business, Level Up with Beth. You know, the interesting thing is, Beth, I have actually, it's right here. I have a, what do you call it? Is those vision board? And on there, I had something that says level up. That's before I met you. So I was telling myself that I want to level up how I look. Like I said, everything work in progress, but I want to level up my dressing. I want to level up my image. I want to level up all these things. And I remember sitting down, and after they sent me your link, I clicked on it, and your website opened up, says level up. And just above that, I have my vision board with part of it saying level up.
Oh, cool.
I still can't believe that happened, but I thought, wow, okay, I guess I'm definitely using you. I don't know if I ever shared that story with you, but yeah, so tell me how you came up with that name.
So I came up with the name because I was trying to figure out how to connect my businesses without having multiple things going on. So I said, so my photography business actually is registered as Babs Photography LLC. My coaching, I call that Level Up with Beth. But I just kind of went with that as a common name for my website because it's kind of unifying. I'm helping people to level up their image, like you were sharing, but I'm also helping people to level up that inside beauty as well. We all have, but sometimes we don't feel like we have. So it just seems like a good way to unify things without having to have a separate website for the coaching and a separate website for the photography and a separate Instagram page. Like, I do not have the capacity for having multiple pages and multiple things to keep up with.
I love that. And and it works. It definitely does. So I know you mentioned that you used to be a teacher. Now you're a full-time entrepreneur. And starting the business, it sounded like it was a little accidental. That was not, you didn't really plan to be an entrepreneur, but it's, you know, you've done it. Did you mention 13 years now? So something is going well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just during that journey, what do you think is the biggest shift that you've made in your business since you started to now?
Pivot multiple times. And this might be partly why people don't always have a clear understanding of what I do. I've had to pivot, especially though in the photography. So when I first started out, I was like actors and musicians, and I was like fashion designers, and now I work primarily with business owners. So I've had to adapt and do slight pivots. I mean, I still work with the other groups as well, but I had to pivot for how to stabilize my income. And
Hmm.
so I like to do it in a way that I want to still enjoy working because I don't enjoy shooting weddings. Weddings pay. And most photographers will do it for money. So I had to figure out how can I do something that I enjoy and like always because I was like so miserable as a teacher. Like when I say I was miserable, I was miserable. I was so miserable as a teacher that I never wanted to be having to do things in my business that I was absolutely miserable doing. So, and I'm still figuring this out, of course, but it's been kind of like an ever evolving thing. And being open to change, being able to change and shift and think about really anyway, where is it that I can help people and enjoy it?
Yeah, thank you. And pivoting is huge because whether it's the small things or the big things, so it could be the service that you decide to provide, it could be the people you focus on. There's this thing where they say, you know, the one thing that's constant is change. And it is definitely something as a business owner you have to embrace because it is definitely constant. So I'm glad that you mentioned the pivoting and you were open to that. You remained open minded and, you know, it's worked out.
Yeah, and I think there has to be an honesty as well. So motion I can do, but I'm not always consistent with the high level of quality that I want to do. So I've been thinking about that and like how can I improve it? So looking even for weaknesses within ourselves as a business owner. So I have like a couple things that I have put in place where I can like train myself to get good. Like I'm volunteering my time with someone where I'm going to be shooting a soccer tournament that he's doing just so I can practice. I'm not looking to be a sports photographer, although I mean, open to the idea, but it's not something that I would ever charge someone money for at this point because it's not a skill set. But where can you evolve and grow so that you can still continue serving people, helping people get what they need, transforming lives? So I'm going to be practicing on his soccer player, getting better and improving my motion photography skills. So also looking for opportunities where we can grow and develop ourselves as business owners, whatever business it is that we have.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Hmm. You just gave me an idea there. I'm just saying. I've always enjoyed volunteering, but actually volunteering in the space you're at to as a way to improve your own skills and to also get others to benefit from what you provide. I think that's a great idea. So thanks so much for sharing that with us. Yeah. And what does team look like for you? Do you work solo? Do you work with other persons?
I'm not sure I will quite clear. So I am a solo entrepreneur. I don't have a business partner per se, but I will work with other people. So for example, like the guide that I gave you for your photo shoot, it had several different stylist options, makeup artist options, and I think if believe there's even a set designer option. So like if you were doing something more like a whole production type of shoot, you would be able to reach out to someone who does styling, like set styling. I actually have a couple people. So like last year I did a shoot for someone, he's a woodworker, and he made these beautiful bookshelves in custom made bookshelves in this person's home. And I looked at it and I was like, yeah, but we need to bring someone in who can make, because he wants them published in a magazine as an advertisement. I was like, we can't just shoot those as they are. I am not a stylist. Like I know it looks good, but there's a difference. I'm not interior design. So we brought in a set designer. She does styling. So she worked with him and and her team got everything. Oh my gosh, it was like insane. We had books everywhere. It was so much fun. And she got the shelves styled. So then like set up everything. So then I took the shoot, what needed to be done, and then we had to put everything back for the homeowners the way they had them. So yeah, I will work with people, and but it's kind of like it depends on the shoot. Tomorrow I'm doing headshots for a speaker school in Stamford, Connecticut. I don't really bring in a set stylist for that. So as needed, I'll put together a team.
Okay, yes, thank you. And thanks for answering that. Yes, because I guess team looks differently for different people. Some people actually have people that they have, they employed. Some have persons that they collaborate with a lot. So it's always good to see from different perspectives what the team looks like. And that, yeah, and it's probably not people you bring in all the time, but that people you bring in as you need. And I'm just curious, do you have any advice as to how to go about building that network of people that you can reach out to when needed? So a client comes and you already know these people that you need to reach out to make the whole experience good for the client.
Yeah, I think you have to kind of know who, not everyone's equal. Not all makeup artists, for example, are equal. Not all makeup artists clean their brushes. Not all makeup artists use good quality makeup. But I really do not want someone to book a photo shoot with me and then have their skin break out or have some kind of rash or some kind of reaction like that day or the next day because the makeup artist was not good and didn't doesn't have integrity. So I like to get to know people. I like to see their work. I like to kind of check them out to make sure that they are really about their business. And yeah, because ultimately I want the client to have a really good experience. And so yeah, I'm really actually particular with who I put on my team. I won't work with just anyone.
Those persons that you mentioned to me, those that I use, they were the most amazing. So thank you so much. And also, so as an accountant, I like to know what business owners do in terms of taking care of accounting. So, marketing, we talked about team, and that's also part of what we need to do to run our businesses. So I'm just curious as to what you do to manage these things, accounting, marketing, and how do you know when it is the right time to bring in somebody?
Yeah, I have to start prepping for my accountant. Oh my goodness. So I have paperwork I have to do. So, mileage, we can take that for our taxes. That's important. And I have not done my mileage sheet at all. I am like really good about writing down my appointments. So I have to go back to my 2025 calendar, look down the dates and locations of all the places I went last year and put this together in 2026. Yeah, I am really bad with maintaining that. When I book shoots, I have a spreadsheet. So I keep track of that. That's pretty easy for me to keep track of. And like I keep up on that because I'm always curious. I like to track my money. And sometimes for fun, I'll like make little bar line graphs with to summarize my month to see what is going on. So sometimes like I'll take my spreadsheet and I'll like make little graphs out and I turn it into a game. Like, can I get this many days in a row of like income coming in? So I sometimes like to gamify
I love that.
that. Yeah. So that's that. But yeah, what else do I do? I am pretty good at saving like receipts and sometimes I will even save I don't really save haircuts, but I might be able to somewhat justify it. But like for example, last year I did a TEDx talk. And so not last year, 2024, December of 2024, I did a TEDx talk. So the outfit that I bought for that, I kept the receipts and took it as a business deduction. I clearly use this for my business. So I'll occasionally take clothing.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're working with somebody because even things like that, it is definitely situational based on it probably won't be the same for everybody. So it all depends on the what and the whole circumstance. It's really good that you have someone that you work with on all of that. So thanks for sharing that. And you definitely touched upon the whole struggle, of receipts and keeping track of everything. We all know what that's like. Even me as an accountant, believe me, it's tough. So I totally get that.
I don't have a bookkeeper, but I see the value in adding a bookkeeper as things scale too. Do you do bookkeeping or do you just do accounting? Let the people know.
Yes. I do big bookkeeping and I'm always happy, to chat with business owners in terms of where they're at, what level of support they need, and how we can assist them. So it's definitely a conversation I'd be happy to have.
Okay, yeah, down the road, I'm needing a little bit more flow happening, but so I'm not ready to bring a bookkeeper on yet. But yeah, I think I would business owners thinking about our gaps and why try to force us ourselves to do something that we're just clearly not having as our strength.
Yes. Well, we can always talk about that some more. And if anybody listening would like to just chat about, putting processes in place, is definitely something I love talking about. So as we come to a close, I would just like to find out, how do you define success? What do you love the most about being a business owner and doing what? you are doing, what the things that you love.
So my definition of success is a result of like my own healing work that I've done. So my definition of success is staying calm.
Mm.
Yeah. So if I can stay calm in the ups and the downs, the good times, the challenging times, I feel like I'm being successful because I am a recovering perfectionist and perfectionists we could just be a little emotional about not being perfect. And I can put a lot of pressure on myself. So if I can just like stay calm, I feel like I then have the clarity and just like the steadiness to be able
Mhm.
to hold on. And I made this post the other day in my Instagram stories. So I was thinking about it because there was snow and there was no plowing, nothing was happening, and I was driving and it was all good. I mean, I lived upstate New York for so long that it's like, oh, I guess I have these snow driving skills still, which is good. But it was like a little slippery. It was like entrepreneurship is like driving your car through the snow. Like you just have to stay calm and hold steady, and you're gonna make it. You're gonna get up this hill that's not been plowed, and you might slip a little bit. But as long as you stay steady, you don't like accelerate too fast, you don't like back off and quit. You keep going, you're gonna get somewhere. It has to happen. Like there has to be some sort of success. So yeah, my definition of success is staying calm.
I love that. I love that. Thanks for sharing that with us. You've given me a lot to think of. Okay, so tell us, how can our listeners reach you?
Yeah, so I can be found on Instagram and my website at Level Up with Beth. So my website is levelupwithbeth.com. Instagram is just Level Up with Beth. My YouTube channel is also Level Up with Beth.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for that. We will be sure to include that in the show notes. And I just want to say thank you so much for spending time with me today and for all the wonderful photos that you've given me and the new connections that you've helped me create. It's been very good. So I really appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. I love connecting people. I feel like that's one of my favorite hobbies. It's connecting people. So I'm so happy to hear that. And thank you for having me. This has been fun. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
A quick note before we wrap up. The insights and experiences shared by our guests are their own. We love creating space for real conversations about business and growth, and everyone's journey is unique. Therefore, this podcast is for informational and inspirational purposes only. It is not meant to replace legal, financial, or other professional advice. So, we encourage you to take what's useful, do your own due diligence, and build what works best for you.
Thanks for listening to Begin, Build, Blossom Your Business Journey. We hope today's conversation gave you the insights and inspiration you need to move forward on your own path. Don't forget to subscribe or follow wherever you get your podcast so you never miss an episode. Do you have feedback? We'd love to hear from you at podcast@cmeaccountingllc.com. Join us again next week for a new episode.